Hey ho everyone, and welcome to this in-depth analysis of the SV Ubers tier, the matches played in the Ubers Winter League. So we've selected a few matches from the first 2 weeks, which we think are pretty interesting to review, with a lot of back and forth. So to note, since I haven't really explained the format of the tournament before, it's basically four big teams uh, with 30 players each. So there are uh, yeah, 6 matches of SVOU played between two teams each week. But that's pretty much the gist of it. And today with me are DBJ. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi, also known as Donbonejones. I specialize in old gen Ubers. I haven't been around for very long, but I know my way around these metagames pretty well.
And also Weasley. Did I say that right?
Wait, my name's Wesleyy. Yo, what's good, guys? I'm not Uber's main, but I'm here for the entertainment and the good games.
All right. Maybe start with this one because I know this one was the first game played in the entire tournament. I'm pretty sure. I think it was played on Monday or Tuesday of the first week, just as a right now without any prize scheduling. So what do you think of these
Who are
team
you favoring
previews?
here?
Uh,
I would always predict Avarice to win this. I would go
Yeah,
Avarice
Flutterman's a
10
really
games out of
interesting
10
sport.
games.
to be honest, I didn't really know Avarice from before. He's on my team, so of course rooting for him there. But Raph is
hmm
pretty good. He made it to the finals of the circuit playoffs. So just by that fact, I would have thought it would go in Raph's favor. But more importantly, probably the matchup right here. And I'd say it's pretty even, though Avarice
hmm
Kyogre looks to be very troublesome for Raph. I mean, of course, the Eternatus is there, but depending on the set, it can be quite devastating. Um, and the King Gambit here, which is reserved as like the Pokemon to reverse sweep, also doesn't look too great into this matchup. I mean, there's Landorus, there's Koraidon, and there is Arceus, Fairy, which all three more or less don't care about it that much. Um, and it might also be a bit difficult for Raph to get rocks up because of the Giratina. It can actually defog quite well into balanced teams as opposed to hyper offense where it's a bit more difficult, but here it's probably doable. So oh yeah, and the Tinglu is also a factor. The spikes being up and chipping down the opposing team. But what do you think?
I think Fluttermane actually looks surprisingly good here because Kyogre
hmm
doesn't really want to switch in on it, so Sun's going to be up a lot of the time, so you're going to be outrunning Koraidon if it's not Scarf. Nothing really wants to switch into like Specs Moonblast, for example.
hmm
I think it's got a lot of potential in this matchup.
Yeah, that's very true. No real fairy switch in. Um, but let's just see how it goes then. So leading off with Eternatus, probably expecting the Kyogre, seeing how troublesome it is to this whole team. Um, I don't really know what the Lando lead here was for. Probably like expecting Koraidon with a U-turn as a pivot lead and trying to get up rocks early, but Has to switch out here, of course. Now being able to get up the spikes. I would have usually assumed that the Etern would try to click Toxic here, but maybe it doesn't have it. By the damage, I'd say it's a defensive set though. How much did the Dynamax can do? 24. Yeah. Flare Blitz, probably. I mean, still did a lot of damage, probably expecting Arceus Fairy to come in. Oh, seems I was wrong
That
about
shit
the.
is so bulky.
Yeah, seems I was also wrong about the what I said earlier about the Etern. It is in fact offensive Meteor Beam. Yeah, probably expected a switch here, so clicking on the Meteor Beam and getting phased out. These sets usually don't run Recover, so this is pretty bad now because the
I think it's
Kyogre.
already looking really bad for Ralph.
What do you say?
Raph. I think it's already looking very bad for
Yeah,
Raph.
yeah. I think if this Etern set had some form of recovery or boots, this could have looked different, but yeah, this is looking quite unfortunate. This is also revealing Scarf, which is not great for the Flutter main.
It did before.
Oh, yeah, I looked at it and that just
Yeah,
OHKOs.
it was a. Yeah, it's looking bad.
And only missing one, which leads to the KO here. KO.
Players do these usually run the Necrozmas.
Usually Terra Fire to not get burned by Arceus Will-O-Wisp or Ho-Oh's Sacred Fire. So this also is clearly a offensive Necrozma because it doesn't run boots. Could also like be Trick Room, Terra Psychic, but yeah, it's Terra Fire. Okay. Offensive. This is okay. This is banded then. With max speed, it outspeeds the outspeeds Koraidon at +1 even, but it has very little bulk then. No Morning Sun though, it seems. And yeah, this is pretty much it then. Would have ended earlier if the Kyogre didn't miss an Origin Pulse, but had to happen there eventually. And yeah, the Landorus can't really do anything. Do you think this was like lost on team preview with knowledge of the sets, or was there like a crucial turn which Raph would have had to play differently in order to win this year?
I mean, Kyogre was always. Sorry, go.
Oh, I think like the chip damage on Eternatus was kind of a big deal. The one in this turn, since it would be like a switch in for once, especially into Scarf Kyogre, it would have helped a bit.
Yeah, very much so.
Eternatus being on 20 HP, switching in is I think that's where it went wrong.
I wonder how this play could have been made differently, though. Issue I see here, if Fairy does come in on the Dynamax cannon, these sets don't run Sludge Bomb, they run Agility last. It would have forced it out and it would just be taking more hazard damage, so not too sure if there was like another play, but this could have also been like a sack here of the Giratina. I mean, once it came in, you knew it was the Meteor Herb set, since if it was Life Orb, which is the third item people run over Heavy Duty Boots or Mental Herb, it would have been revealed when it attacked the Tinglu earlier. So was probably the best bet to stay in here with Giratina, because even if it does click Dynamax Cannon, something else can come in to Revenge Kill it, and it doesn't have the boost yet. Yeah, but in retrospect, knowing the sets, it was pretty.
It was always going to be a hard game.
Yeah. From team preview, I would have also expected the team to be a whole lot bulkier. I mean, this is what Raph is running, is bulkier offense, of course, but I would have maybe expected like more defensive Necrozma and Eternatus. But yeah. Any other thoughts for this game?
I mean, I think Kyogre was just always hard to play around, so Raph was kind of on the back foot from preview, in my opinion. Even if it was like defensive or versus Scarf.
All right.
Nice game overall.
Yeah, for sure. Secondly, we have this game. I think it was played in week 2. I'm not too sure, but either way, also this time it's two balanced teams into each other.
I would go Skyview here because that's my goat, and I think he has more experience in Ubers as well.
Yeah, I think he has the same exact team as Raph.
No.
Or sorry, Avarice.
Avarice, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. I had to check 3 times. I don't know if I'm tired.
I was looking at the eternally team first. I was checking which one. That anyways. Yeah, probably can expect the same sets here. Big issue for Etern here is going to be that the game can't go on for too long, because Skyview has the hazard control, and the spikes, of course, do hit the Arceus, and also the likely Scarf Coridon. I mean, it's probably boots Etern and Kyogre. I mean, could also be Specs, which would be a bit unfortunate for Etern here. Or, I mean, would also do a lot of damage, so it's definitely has to try to end the game quickly, whereas Skyview can go for a long game. But what are your thoughts?
I definitely like Etern's team as well, though.
Yeah.
I think Etern's best hope here is just to spread burn with Ho and try and like force a bunch of progress with Brave Bird and Sacred Fire. I don't see any other way of breaking through this team.
Yeah. I mean, if it's sub Ho-Oh, that would be pretty devastating for Skyview, being able to block Intimidate and also freely Brave Bird into the Kyogre. I mean, there's no fly resist here. other than like intimidate landerers, but that only works for so long. So Kyogre Scarf revealed here because it was faster, so Rain came up first and the Scale Shot Koraidon later.
I really like that double. Goes the fucking goat.
Yeah, being able to click an Ice Beam here. And now Koraidon has to switch out again because or use Terrafire, but that probably wouldn't be the best choice.
That's not worth.
Yeah. Doing a double again, expecting the Ho-Oh probably. Yeah. Etern not being able to
I
get
like how aggressive Sky is playing.
hazards up. Yeah. Getting a lot of doubles to keep the pressure up, and now switch is forced again. The water spout, I think it's at like 130 power here. And that Etern was very offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would have taken 40 from Kyogre even at full. Lano blocking the revenge kill. Doing a slow turn to pivot the Kyogre in safely again, exerting all the same pressure as before. Now Etern being forced to sack something. And let's see if the second one hits. Does a little damage in Sun. But Koraidon dies to rocks now. So, yeah. Flare Blitz doesn't kill here, but yeah, was probably assumed either band or Scale Shot, seeing that the Kyogre already has a scarf for speed control, and it's no, never mind. I thought scarf over for a sec. Having to sack the
Yeah, it's sticking
Koraidon.
wraps now.
Yeah, not even being able to get the sun out. Sacking the lander because it's not needed here anymore.
Could CM Kaio have pulled something off there, you think?
It depends on the RCS set. A very powerful set is the Demon Arc. So with Calm Mind and Iron Defense. And I mean, if it
That's
is
some lame
able,
ass Pokemon, bro.
what do you say?
That's some lame ass set.
Yes, not the most entertaining set,
I'd
but
probably save Etern here.
I hate it when pussies start bulking their defense. Buffing their defense.
I mean, yeah, if Etern gets to somehow set a few Calm Minds up and have good rain timing, then there is probably a chance. I don't know how many it needs though. Probably more than it can get here because the Giratina.
Probably doesn't live after +1, yeah.
Oh, it's or
What is Terra Water?
yeah. No, normally.
That might be the game.
I think that pulls it off, yeah.
Yeah. Needs Thunder, full power of Snow. Or a crit.
Oh, or a crit.
Yeah.
He has plot armor. That's my fucking guy, right?
Still unknown whether it was the demon
I-
set, but could have also been Power Gem or Earth Power Lost. With Demon, you usually run Terra Poison, but Terra Water is also nice tech because it allows you to still set up on Necrozma Dusk main, and of course also block fire block fire of Coridon, and act in scenarios as these. Yeah.
I think every Etern game that I've seen, he's been robbed. In NUCL, this. Or not NUCL, but in SCL. Great player. Just unfortunate.
Yeah. So pretty well thought out game by the both of them. I mean, if Etern had different Terra, the crit Thunder wouldn't have been needed. But yeah, any closing thoughts on this game? I think it was a very interesting one.
Yeah, I really liked how Skyview, like the aggressive plays he made. I think they all got
Yeah,
rewarded.
really kept up the pressure with Kyogre. That was really good of him.
Despite the disadvantage in the lead, getting off the pressure plays, and then being able to catch the momentum here. Yeah. All right. Then let's move on to the next one. Hacker versus Hats. I believe Hacker is an LC player. I don't know which tier Hats usually plays. Either way, we get to see a pretty unique team from Hats here because both Hatterene and Xianpao are not too common in Ubers. I mean, Xianpao is ranked Ubers, and I think it also has a place on the viability ranking, but it can be quite difficult to position and find red sets for, since it does, of course, take huge damage from stealth procs, and the ice step also gets blocked by quite a few things, especially Zacian, which we see in the opposing team, blocks both of its stabs and is not hit super effectively by the sacred sword. I don't know which one it was, but
Sacred, yeah.
yeah. Hatterene also
I'm actually a big fan of.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm a big fan of Chen Pao. I've used it before, and if you put it, if Hats can keep like rocks off his side and keep rocks on the opponent's side, I'm pretty sure +2 Terra Ice Shard Oko's Coridon. So if you just remove like Zacian, for example, and get a Swords Dance off, you're in really good shape.
Yeah. Also depends on whether this is like choice band, life orb, or heavy duty boots. I don't really know which sets you usually run, but I'm going to assume it's like one of the first two because there's a hat on this team, so Hats is clearly planning on keeping the hazards off. Yeah.
I think Life Orb is best just because Swords Dance is so potent late game. That would be what I would personally bring, Swords Dance.
Yeah.
What do the Hattrines run in this? Are they just the nuzzle bullshit, or are they set
Um,
up often?
no, they don't run setup. They're just a support.
It's
I
just
think the
utility.
standard is like Nuzzle, Healing Wish, Trick Room, and I don't know what the last move is. I mean, you can run pretty much anything on it. Just a Nuzzle and Healing Wish are pretty much mandatory on it. And
Mhm.
I think most people run like either Focus Sash or Rocky Helmet even, because it does live some physical attacks quite comfortably. But yeah, I just judging by the team preview in general, I'd say it's probably a difficult matchup for Hats. I mean, there are a lot of potent attackers. 3 of them notably having priority. But yeah, Hacker also packs quite strong hits, and there aren't really too many switch-ins for Hats. So we'll see how it goes. Leading off with Etern, probably expecting the Kyogre lead. Getting hit by the
That
Earthquake.
shit took a million.
Oh yeah, eject button is another thing. Can run on it.
Do you not think that Arceus normal on Hat's team could be a problem if Zacian gets chipped too much?
Not really. Koraidon quite often runs Terra Ghost, so pretty much has 3 Pokemon which can deal with the E-Killer. So for one, the resistance here. Also the Terra Ghost, if it is Terra Ghost instead of Terra Fire, then also the Intimidate from Lando. And also depends on the set. I think if this is like bulk up, this kind of wins on the spot. But if it's Silk Scarf, Terra Normal, something like that, it might also be a bit difficult to keep it healthy. But yeah, the chip on Zacian is of course still, it could still become troublesome down the line. Making double switch, predicting the Arceus Fairy to come in. And I mean, yeah, there is still the Landorus, but this turn right here was very, very risky. I'd say just staying in on the Xian Pao with the flinch move equipped. I think this is bandit damage, so would have probably done around 60 or 70 to the Arceus. Could have been a bit troublesome if that did actually go through. Life Orb Etern is also something I've not seen in this meta before. I mean, leftovers. Getting. Yeah, Landorus switching and predicting the recover. Have we seen the earthquake damage before somewhere? I think on the Hatterene. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it did like 49.
yeah, okay, that is Scarf Scarf then, I think. Because I think normally would have done less. Is it Balloon? Yeah. That's why they switch out the Etern. Now the balloon being popped is of course also a bit unfortunate. And yeah, this is,
Yeah, the Koraidon check is dead now, so
and it's still and it's still at full health no less. Probably either like Lumberry or heavy duty boots. And now the Etern is also slower than the Ho-Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Missing the second Fire Blast here. I wonder what Hat's idea to win the game here is, since this does look pretty dire, so they have to make some callouts sometime, or else they will be, the hacker can just extrapolate the disadvantage and trade down. PP stalling
Didn't he
the
just click with the EQ there? On that previous turn? Here.
Yeah, probably. Could be expecting a Terra, but I think that would have been fine. So yeah, EQ would have probably been for the best. Only downside is if you EQ there, the RCS can come in and set up probably. So just PP stalling the Dynamax cannon is also an option here. Being able to do that pretty easily with with the regenerator here.
The issue is, without Hacker ever using Terra, it's hard to know what Hats' win con is, because they could have a random Terra Steel and all of a sudden Shen Pao is useless, or Terra Fairy Landorus and Koraidon is a lot worse now, so it's really hard to see how exactly Hats wins this.
Yeah, this was also way less damage from the Icicle Crash than I expected. With a Souls
That's
of Ruin
also
and
not
all.
kind of lucky. Yeah. Hackers getting everything.
A whole four full pairs as well.
Yeah, can't of course Terra here, but it'll knock itself out. And if it clicked close combat, yeah, RCS could have just come in and killed just the same. Sucker Punch at +3 at 3 Fallen doesn't really do much here. I think this is the first time it's in Boots. Yeah, but because it's slower due to the paralysis, Ice Beam is now pretty devastating. And Arceus can't set up here. Or, it does, hoping for Argent Pulse Miss, which does happen. Custard Berry doesn't do anything because E-Speed is +2 priority.
Yep.
Um,
Terra Ground.
Yeah, that's what they run on the setup, on the Scarf one.
Did we see Scarf earlier? I've been keeping track.
I think it was not revealed by speed, but just by the damage. So because on defense you just run full defense.
Fuck.
Yeah. But Arceus is pretty bulky, so it does get to take it out here. What percent was it? 36. I can clock that real quick.
That one's a beast.
I think 36 to 40 is about the damage Judgment does to Arceus, to opposing Arceus without investment. Okay, this might have been a misplay then. Because if it was... Oh, I'm still in the wrong scene. If it was no special attack investment, the Judgment would have always missed the kill here.
He could have calced it from the previous judgments, though, onto his Eternatus.
Yeah, I think the Eternatus. What is the Eternatus? But by the damage the physical moves did, I'm pretty sure it's max, pretty much, with like 16 speed EVs. Is it this one? No, not here. $39. I don't know what the Etern set was though, because it could have also very well had more speed investment. But either way, yeah, this was pretty interesting turn of events at the end there. Got pretty close there regardless. Yeah, anything else you would like to add to this game?
I think it was a good game.
All right. Then
I do think Hacker did get everything he needed, though. He
yeah,
got a lot.
yeah. I mean, think the Shen power is just probably not the best bring, because it gets walled by the Zacian so easily. I assume the idea behind the team was more or less to abuse offensive overlap, to like have everything attack the same checks, and then something will break through eventually. But yeah, to these physical mons there are also multiple checks usually, so a well-prepared team probably won't fall to that as easily. Yeah, but definitely an interesting idea, and I'm also excited to see what they will build in the future for the rest of this tournament. Right, then we have Richard versus Expulso. Last. Something immediately standing out in the team preview is, of
These
course,
are two very weird teams. I like that.
I mean, Expulso's team is pretty normal, I'd say. It's just normal hyper offense, but yeah, Richard's team is Terrapagos is seen as pretty much unviable. And yeah, the Wish Pass Elo on a balanced team is also not used too often, but I think it's seen more use than only on stall, which it was during the Mirai meta. But right now it probably can fit on multiple on even more balanced teams, and probably does perform pretty well. So maybe there's some value to experimenting with that. But yeah, one thing to note here is that Richard is on the same team as Ox, who is a notorious builder for bringing strategies no one else would pretty much ever expect. And in the previous game, there was also a Terrapagos and a very interesting Koraidon set with a Fire Spin and Drain Punch. Yeah, so of course, one advantage of these kind of teams is that you don't really know what to expect or how to prepare for these threats. And yeah, Expulso is running pretty standard Deoxys speed offense, I'd say. Also pretty well balanced with defensive typings, I'd say, though it's pretty weak to Ghost as the only type, so no switch-ins to Lunala pretty much, but all the mons can usually take one Moongeist beam.
I would usually give this to Richard melee playing. But since Expulso has the Glacial Lance Pokemon, that shit is Thanos.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's a situation where he's able to get a Sword Stance and Trick Room up, I mean, Lunala, Lomomola, and the Arceus can probably take it, and the Terrapagos as well, and because of its Terra Shell ability. So it can't break through without resistance, like in the average against the average hyper offense team. But what does look quite threatening is the Arceus ground here, I'd say. But let's just see how it goes.
Do Terrapagos in this just run the Rapid Spin?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Rapid Spin is pretty much what they do, and Expulso not being Uru's player and never having seen this thing before, probably did not expect the Rapid Spin. And I think this is wrong sequencing of the, because after the next Rapid Spin, the Terrapagos will be faster. And can't really kill it like that.
Is it Ice Beam Earthfire?
Probably has Stealth Rocks. Oh yeah, doesn't show here. It probably has Stealth Rocks, and maybe Toxic last. They usually run either Ice Beam or Earth Power. Also has its signature move, but that one isn't really used.
You need a Terra to use that one, no? Or am I being
It's a
shit?
normal type until you Terra.
Yeah.
Oh.
And after you Terra, it's an attack that is like neutral to everything, which is powerful, but
The star bullshit, right?
yeah, Stellar Blast or something, Stellar Starstorm, something like that. But the Pokemon is just too slow and with too bad of typing to be able to reliably set up. So yeah, can't really do that. Getting getting a nice double here, though at the cost of Zacian's Interpret Sword because it only activates once. But having the spike up is quite nice, especially down the line for the Aloe, because it usually runs either eject button or what was it? Rocky Helmet. Yeah. And the Judgment barely doesn't kill, so it's able to get the Toxic off here. And the Arceus can't really sweep at this point, being toxic. Also has to take Flare Blast. And expecting a Terrafire. Using, or probably expecting double.
Ho-Oh.
Double. Yeah. Probably Calm Mind 3 attacks. Since yeah, Agility Meteor Beam would have done this differently, but on a team like this, without hazard control, you can't really run that because you need the boots. This is a Scarf Ho-Oh because yeah, base 95 and Lunala has 97. So Koraidon able to set up a Sword Stance here, and is able to KO. Yeah, yeah. I think there was a roll. Oh, never mind. It's life up. Wasn't a roll. Yeah, the SD won't do too much here because the LO is still able to check it quite easily, and yeah, it's just going to take a lot of damage from Rocky Helmet here. Oh, close combat, and it sadly doesn't even kill, so it's able to stop the Calyrex later. Oh, killing. I think should have come in here with the Coridon. Or no, never mind. Yeah, Calyrex and then double into Coridon was probably the best call here, with a Scale Shot being able to break the Shadow Shield. Still does a ton of damage through the Shadow Shield, but isn't able to set that up. Yeah, if there was a double, there probably was a chance. But like this, it isn't able to KO the Ho-Oh. Also, not the highest likelihood of getting the 5 hits it needs without a loaded
Yeah, I think
die.
5 hits would have killed.
Yeah, probably that's not even so unlikely. Yeah, would have 5 hits would have killed. 4 hits has a chance to kill too. Yeah, okay. Was closer than I.
Pokemon's a lame ass game, bro.
How come?
SV is cancelled, bro. This gen is shit.
Yeah,
These games are fun.
yeah. I mean, SV
Fun to
Ubers.
watch, not to play. I bet that shit was boring as fuck.
Yeah, SV Ubers is
Yeah, no, it's definitely more of a spectator tier.
yeah, bit notorious for being very offense based. During the Miraidon meta, it was more or less 2 teams being built and then just played down. So more or less a game that was just played in the builder, then in play, but it still is very offensive. And these were like 4 replays from the 12 games that were played so far. Could have also been more games, depending on the best of 3 new slots, but most of these games were like either very quick or pretty one-sided. So yeah, these were some of the more interesting to comment on games. But yeah, thank you too so much for being here with me today in the commentary.
100%, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and as for the other content, we're probably going to have an SS video hosted by Oreo down the line this week, and a black and white one by Donbonejones. And also we will have a very special video on Sunday with our first special guest discussing the DPP Ubers and Farseer's tier. So look forward to that, and goodbye.